So launching a new business or a new product. Let's have a look what we've got on the first page. So how this evening is going to look, we're not going to be for hours. I've got a stir fry waiting for me downstairs. So I'm just going to talk a little bit about me. For anyone that doesn't know who I am, it's worth just filling you in as to who I am. You know, who is this woman? Then I've got some launching tips for you. And then I'm going to go through a launching timeline. And then at the end, I'm going to talk to you about ways you can learn even more and what I offer to people where you can learn even more. Okay, so that's what we're going to do this evening. So about me, here we go. Bullet points in a nutshell. I was 30 years a primary school teacher, including in that time a head teacher. That I retired from that officially, finally, in when did I do it? 2021. Gosh, my brain went completely fuzzy then. My last day of teaching was actually on April Fool's Day in 2021, which I thought was quite apt, really. I actually started Leading Lady Kate's, which is my business, in 2014. There we go, 2014. So there was an overlap. So when I started my business, I'd finished being a head teacher, and that's the reason why I started it up anyway. But I did a bit of supply teaching, filling in teaching, part-time teaching, obviously just to make ends meet while the business got set up. And the main thing I did actually to start with was I traded at markets. I did a lot of markets, a lot of different ones. So I do know a little bit about markets and how they work. The whole range of, you know, tiny little market with sort of 3 or 4 traders sort of poked in the corner of an alleyway somewhere. It wasn't that seedy, but it was very small, to big town centre proper markets, you know, with lots of footfall and all that kind of stuff. So I did that. But my main aim always was to make wedding cakes. Right from the start, that was where I wanted to end up, making wedding cakes. I went full-time with my business in 2019. Although I say full-time, I was still doing a little bit of supply teaching, but I was really concentrating on the business at that point, and concentrating on wedding cakes. And by the time we got to the beginning of 2020, I had lots of wedding cakes set up. But we all know what happened in 2020, and that is when I set up what you're seeing now and the group that you're in now. That all started in 2020. I then went on to become a #1 best-selling author on Amazon in the home business category. I've had a couple of books get to #1 in there, but I've got a whole load of books in there, because once you start self-publishing on Amazon, it's a bit addictive. You can't stop. So there's quite a few on there, and quite a few of you have got my home, my food hygiene record book. That's the one that's the biggest seller at the moment. I've also featured all over the place in the media. Hello Online, Woman, Metro, Prima, some of them which are on my wall up here, some of which you might have seen on my socials. I've been on the radio. I love doing radio. That's good fun. I went up to London and was on Times Radio, and I took a wedding cake with me. Don't ask. And I've been on Talk TV, although the Talk TV was mainly to do with being a head teacher rather than cakes, but still I've done it. And Trisha Goddard called me a font of absolute wisdom. So, you know, can't get better than that, really, can you? I'm also a qualified bookkeeper, which is why I can advise people about, you know, tax self-assessment, because I've got a qualification in that and I know what I'm doing with that. And I know my way around HMRC, particularly for sole traders and things like that. And I'm also a trained soprano, which is why my business is called Leading Lady Cakes, because I've been a leading lady. Not that I'm much of a diva, really. I'm far too soppy for that. But I love performing anything. If you follow me on my socials, Leading Lady Cakes or Leading Lady Cakes Business School, it's LLC Business School. It's because, yeah, anyway, you'll occasionally see, you know, that I'm rehearsing or I'm learning lines or something like that. At the moment, I'm doing a lot of Shakespeare, actually. The next one's Love's Labour's Lost. But we won't get into that now. We'll be here all night. So that's a bit about me, if any of you don't know who I am. Hello, Wendy. Hello, Wendy. Nice to see you here. So let's have a look at the principles of launching. And these are some tips for you. Excuse me while I slurp my tea. I'm addicted to tea. I should put that on the list, really, shouldn't I? These are things that I have picked up over the last, actually since 2020, when I really started getting to know business and getting to know business people and learning from other business people. I'm a real sucker for learning things. You know, I just soak things up like a sponge. I'm just obsessed about learning. So the last 3 years, I've learned so much about business, and these things are what I have learnt, not only through following people and listening to people, but actual experience myself. So let's have a look. The first thing is, and this is quite a big one, that you actually need an audience to sell to. Now, what I was doing when I first had Insta all those many years ago, I think my daughter set me up an account. And I was at a market and I thought, right, well, I'll take some photos of my setup and I'll post on Instagram saying I'm here at the market and I've got these things for sale. But of course, what I didn't realise is that unless you've got people, you know, following you and looking at you, and more importantly, people that are going to buy what you are selling, then you're not going to sell anything. So rather than get caught up in just getting loads of followers for the sake of having loads of followers, if they're not people that are going to buy from you, it's fairly pointless, to be honest. You want to build your audience full of what's known as your ideal client. If you want to know about ideal client, on my YouTube channel, I've got a little video that explains what that's all about. But it is a game changer, ideal client. Find out about that. I won't go into it now because we'll be here till midnight. But you need an audience to sell to. And it doesn't just have to be social media either. You can set up, you can gather people's emails. There's a way to do that. And I'll tell you a little bit more about that as we go through. But you need an audience to sell to. Otherwise, it's pointless. It's like having a shop sort of in the middle of an island, you know, it's pointless. What's the next one? Your audience, so these people that know about you, they need to know not only who you are, but they need to like what you do and they need to trust you. There's something in business called the know, like and trust factor. And it's based on the fact that you only buy from people that you know, you like, or you trust. And the majority of money that changes hands is on that basis. So your favorite supermarket, you know them, you physically know the layout of the store. You might even know some of the people that work there. You like what they do. You like the products that they have, and you trust that they are going to sell at decent prices. And if you have a problem, they're going to sort it out, and so on and so forth. If suddenly a shop appeared in the middle of your high street with a name that you didn't know, you'd perhaps tentatively go in and have a look. But unless you've got a really lovely experience in there, you'd be out of there like a shot, and you'd probably never go in there again, because you've got to get to know it and you've got to trust it. Okay. So your audience needs to know who you are, like what you do, and trust you. So in terms specifically for launching and for starting either your new business trading or a new product, you've got to plan this carefully. Okay. And you've got to give yourself between 4 and 6 weeks before the date that you actually start selling, for the build up and for the preparation. Okay. Not like me, when I first started my business, I put a nice picture of a cake up there that I'd spent ages making and say, oh, this is my cake. Would you like to buy it? It's so many pounds and contact me here. Well, first of all, I didn't have an audience. So, and secondly, it was like a drop in the ocean. It's like putting a drop of, black food dye into the sea. It's just going to disappear completely, and that's what it's like now on social media. you get diluted very, very quickly unless you put things in place. So plan your launch carefully, and I'll go through a sort of planning timeline for you in a minute. Have a launch date that all your planning works towards. So if you're a new business, if you've not set up yet, have a date where, right, this is the actual date when I'm going to start taking orders, taking money from people, and so on. If it's a new product or a seasonal product, have that date. Don't tell anyone about it yet, but know it. So, for example, if you're doing Christmas, say Christmas Eve boxes or something for Christmas, think, what, 2 weeks before you're actually going to start selling them? Have a date, I don't know, 5th of December or whatever it is. That's the date you're actually going to start taking the orders for those and taking the money for those. Okay. And everything else to do with people being interested, all that kind of stuff, that happens before that date. So have your launch date ready. And then you use that 4 to 6 weeks. So that preparation time, you use that to take your photos, to finalize your pricing, and to know exactly what you're going to be selling. What is it exactly that you're going to be offering to your customers? You've got to know that backwards. Okay, you've got to do all the other prep, like, you know, your ingredients, lists, your allergens, your social media setup, all those kind of things. That's going to happen in those 4 to 6 weeks beforehand. Okay. And what the other thing you're going to do is you're going to create a plan, a social media plan and a sales plan for those 4 to 6 weeks. And I'll suggest one for you in a minute in the timeline, and you'll see how it works. Okay, so you're not going to take orders straight away. You're going to start telling people they can go on a waiting list for your launch date. Okay, it's all to do with getting, you know, anticipation and excitement and people really wanting to buy. Okay. Oh, so hello, Marie. Marie's watching. Hello, my lovely. Now, the rule of 7. I didn't know what this was called. I had to look it up today and find it. And it's actually called the rule of 7, although it's more than 7 now. And the idea of this is that online and with adverts and things like that, generally the research showed that someone has to see an advert or something about a business or a company 7 times before they actually buy from it. Now, this was research that I think was done in the 50s. It might have been before that. I did find out earlier, but it was quite a few years ago that this research was done. You know, this psychological research that people, they asked buyers, and, you know, they tracked things and all sorts. So, and they found out that 7 times, you've got to look at an advert or something about a business 7 times before they buy. Now, the general consensus in business these days is that it's far more than 7. It's near 30, 40. So bear in mind that when you're putting things on your social media, if you take an average, someone's got to look at what you do 30 times before they decide to buy on average. Okay, so that one post that I put up with my, whatever it was, brownies or whatever it was, saying, oh, would you like to buy this? That's just one out of, I've got to do 29 more before I'm likely to get people wanting to buy. Okay, which makes sense when you think of the know, like and trust factor. You know, just seeing a photo of some brownies, however lovely they are, you're going to think, who is this person? You know, who are they? What are they selling? And your subconscious is saying, I don't trust them yet to give them my money. I've just got to find out a bit more about these people. And sometimes you do that consciously as well, don't you? I need to find out more before I, before I commit to this. So that's what the rule of 7 is. So, you know, everything to do with launching is based on that principle of letting people get to know you and your business so that they are feeling comfortable to then buy, to place orders and buy. Okay. And what I just said, you've got to build excitement. You've got to get your audience excited and ready for your launch. Respond to all comments on social media. Now, sometimes that's easier said than done. If you're particularly busy and you've done it really well and you've got lots of comments, but try, because the more you respond to comments, the more your posts will be seen. Okay, and that's how the algorithm works, isn't it? If you never respond to anything, or if you just heart something, no, don't just heart something, actually reply. So if someone says, oh, that looks fabulous, you say, oh, thanks ever so much. Might you be interested in buying, this is the launch day, whatever it is. Actually have conversations with people and encourage people to have conversations with each other. And that way your posts will be favoured by the algorithm, let's say. Hello, Vonnie Crafts. Hello, Elle. Nice to see you all. Nice to see you here. And then set up a wait list. This is a brilliant thing to have, a waiting list or wait list, because you can grab people's interest. If someone says, oh, that looks lovely, or, oh, tell me more, you can say, let me put you on my waiting list and I will send you all the details, once I have them and once they're ready, and you can buy straight away. Now, the advantage with having a waiting list is that you can say, come onto my waiting list, you will be notified a couple of days early. So although you've got your launch date, it may be that you offer your waiting list, first dibs, if you like, perhaps the night before, or, depends how you want to plan it. But your waiting list gets first go and first dibs, particularly if you've got limited offers of things. You can only make so many. So you reward the people that have come onto your wait list by giving them the first choice. You might want to think about early bird offers. I'll talk about those a little bit more in a minute. But come onto my waiting list for, first choice and for, I don't know, 5% off or whatever it is. We'll talk about what exactly that is in a second. But set up a waiting list. I'll talk about waiting lists as we go through and at the end as well, because I've got something that will help you build one if you're interested in that. So our launch timeline. Hello, people saying hello. Is it LL? Sorry, my glasses are fogged up. And Vonnie Crafts, hello. So this is a suggestion for your launch timeline. How long you make it really depends on a few things. It might depend on how much time you have during the week to devote to it. It might depend on how big something is. So, for example, Christmas, you might want to spend a bit longer. Something a bit more niche like Valentine's or Mother's Day or Father's Day, you might want to bring that down to 4 weeks. Okay, so adapt this according to how big you want your launch to be. So I've got sort of, approximates here. So sort of either 4 to 6 weeks before. So when you start this, create a launch plan. So write it all down. If you're a techo person, do a spreadsheet. I love a spreadsheet. You can make it go get different colors and everything. Or if you're a handwriter, then write it all down. Do something that you can see where everything goes and what's happening where. Map out the weeks before your launch, giving yourself deadlines and goals for each week. So by the end of the first week, I want to have made sure that I've done this, this, and this. I want to make sure that I've posted on socials so many times, so give yourself some goals for each week. Pitch for local PR, although you might even want to do that sooner, depending on what it is. And consider advertising. So for PR, for local PR, bear in mind that PR isn't just about you selling something. On the whole, journalists aren't interested in just you selling something. You need a story behind it. Go to my YouTube channel. There is a video in there somewhere on getting PR. Watch that and it will show you that some of the principles behind getting PR. Okay, you might want to think about advertising. If that's something you do, perhaps in a local magazine or something local, because unless you're doing, you know, national posting things, in which case your audience is going to be wider. If you're just doing local things, you know, for people to collect, then where you advertise is going to be different, isn't it? Think about your ideal client when you advertise. Again, look at my video on ideal client on my YouTube channel, and it will tell you a bit about what that's about. Okay, and your social media for that first week, all you're going to do for that is something new's coming. I've got something coming that I'm really excited about. They don't need to see any of it yet. They don't need any details other than I'm really excited because something's coming, and that's all you need. However many times you post, it's worth it posting quite a few times in slightly different ways. And remember that reels are the things that reach your non-followers. So as many reels as you can. Do a lot of encouraging of sharing, particularly for local things. Facebook more than Insta, I think, does a bit more local stuff, doesn't it? Make sure you've got all your keywords. So make sure your location is in your keywords, particularly of your bio, of your Insta and your Facebook. So I could go on till midnight actually with all the things, but your basic thing for your first week is something's happening, something's coming, I'm really excited about it, and it's going to be fabulous. Okay, you have got to believe that what you are doing is fabulous, because if you don't believe it, your audience aren't going to get it. Okay, don't say, oh, you know, I'm doing something, I'm not sure how it's going to go, but let's see, shall we? Who wants to buy that? You know, you've got to make it exciting. You've got to make it special. You've got to make it feel special, and you've got to believe it's special, because if you don't, no one else is going to. So there we go. Excitement. You've got to start building the excitement. Think about, you know, a 7-year-old thinking about Christmas and the excitement. Oh God, Santa's gonna come. You know, all that. Anyway, so the next stage, 3 to 5 weeks before, depending on how long your launch is, this is the time that you take all the photos of your products. You want to mock them up or actually make them, depending on what you do. You want to style them. You want to take some fabulous photographs, and this is for your marketing and your social media. You're not going to post them yet, okay, but you want to have them ready, because when you launch, you obviously want fabulous pictures of what you do, of what they are, okay? While you're doing all that, you want to create your behind the scenes videos of doing all the making and the packaging and all the bits and pieces. Just film everything. Film things in real time, film things in time lapse, film everything, film as much as you can. Then you've got as much material as you can then to turn into those reels and those videos and those posts. Okay. I have I don't know what it's called. It's got a proper name. I'm trying to think of the brand name, but it's basically a stand that I put my iPhone on, and it's sort of angled, and you can tighten it, and you know, you can have it at different angles and overlooking, and you know, all that kind of stuff. And sometimes when I'm making things, I'll just put that in the corner of my kitchen, press go, and it'll just take pictures of everything that I'm doing. And then afterwards, I'll have a look through and I'll take clips for my reels. Okay, so do all that. Give yourself some time to just do that. Okay. Finalize your product's menu and pricing. Okay, you're going to decide, right, I'm going to make this, this, and this. I'm going to offer this. I'm going to offer a box of 4 and a box of 10 or whatever it is. And you're going to price those properly. Proper pricing. No guesswork. Do you hear me? No guesswork, because you've got to make a profit. Okay. You know me, I'm a real nag when it comes to pricing. You've got to do it properly. So do all that week. So by the end of that week, you know exactly what you're selling. You're going to know what it looks like because you've mocked it up. You're going to know exactly what the prices are. And then what you're going to do there is you're going to decide whether your wait list, if you're going to have one, which I hope you do, are they going to receive a discount? Or are you going to offer multi-buy discounts? But those have all got to be planned. They've all got to be calculated. There's no point in offering a discount if it means you make no profit at all. It's all got to be calculated. Okay. So, you know, you've got to work it out. All right, if I offer this if they buy 5 of them for a 10% discount, is that going to work? Is that going to give me, how much profit is that going to give me? You know, work it all out and do it properly. And then your social media overview for that section that week, you're going to start doing sneak peeks. You're going to start showing them photos of the corner of something, or the photo of, you know, a ribbon, or the photo, you know, with things over the top of it so they can't exactly see what it is. And you're going to be, you know, putting out the, oh, guess what it is? What have I got here? Kind of, and teasy things. Okay. So you're not going to show them the product completely yet. You're going to be giving them some little teasers, sneak peeks. Guess what it is? I've got something in the box. Do you know what? Want to know what it is? That, all that kind of stuff. Okay, that's your next stage. Oh, hello, Charlene. Hello, Justina. Nice for you to join me. And then 2 to 4 weeks before, this is where you organise your order processes. So you need to have some kind of system when all those orders start coming in, and you've got to believe that that's going to happen. You've got to have your order book ready, or your tracker, or your spreadsheet, or whatever system you use. You've got to have it ready. Okay, you don't want to start faffing around with, you know, spreadsheets and adding columns and stuff, and you've got a whole list of people waiting to buy things from you. You want to have it ready to be populated with all these orders that you're going to get. Okay, you're going to set up your wait list. You're not going to tell people about it quite yet, but you're going to set it up so it's ready for people to drop onto or drop into. Okay, and then you're going to just finalize, right? Yeah, when I send out my waitlist email, my first email to them, it's going to have this offer on it. They're going to have this chance to buy, or, you know, this percentage off, or whatever it is. And your social media overview for that week, you're actually going to tell them the date of the launch here. So on 5th of December, I'm going to be launching my, I don't know, my Christmas Eve boxes, whatever it is. Okay, so they know exactly the date. All right, you're going to give them more teasers. Not more teasers, more teasers. I'm going to give them all teasers as well. But give them teasers. Give them a little bit more, a few more clues as to what it is that you're going to be selling. A few more hints, right? Not completely yet. You're not going to show them completely quite yet. A few more hints and tips, you know, hints. And so 1 to 2 weeks before, this is where you really go for your social media content. This is where you're going to actually give them the details of what you're going to be offering, your sales, if you like. So not only are you going to say, this is my launch date, this is what I'm launching, you're going to start showing them pictures of what it is. You're going to do some behind the scenes. You might even do some lives. I know lots of people are a bit scared of doing lives. I actually love them, but I know some people don't. But it is known that if you do lives, you're going to increase your views on social media. So if you possibly can, big girl pants on, or big boy pants on, and do some lives. Encourage people to join your wait list. Okay, tell them that the wait list is there. Show them how they can join your wait list. Whether you use a system that I'm going to show you, well, I'm not going to show you the system. I'm going to show you how to get hold of my course, which shows you how to build one. Or whether you have, you know, just a manual system, or just a list with people's names on. Encourage them, say it's open now. If you want to go on it, you might, you know, you're going to get this discount when the offer goes out. And as I said here, get your reels going. You want to get people seeing what you do. Okay. So that's mainly you're really getting into what you've got to sell, what it is, how much it is, when's it coming. Okay, you want really people to think, right, I really want this. This is the date. I must make sure that I'm available on that date to buy because I really want it. And then 1 week before, this is when your social media countdown goes into 7 days to go, 6 days to go, 5 days to go, in as many different and creative ways as you possibly can. You might want to have planned those pictures when you did your all your recording and things. You might, I don't know, put some brownies in the letter 7, you know, in the number 7 and the number 6 or whatever it is. Do something creative that people are going to take notice of. Build that excitement. Posts and lives showing packaging ready and waiting. You know, show an empty box. You know, a beautifully packaged box, which is what it's going to be, isn't it? You know, this is ready. Show them the products, show them close-ups of your brownies or cookies or whatever it is that you're going to be selling. And then tell the audience why they should buy from you. Sometimes with sales, it's a question of telling people things, not suggesting things or hoping that they might, you know, you have to actually tell them. And tell them why they should buy from you. What's special? Because there will be something special. You've got to believe that it's special. Because if you don't believe it's special, they're not going to believe it's special. Okay. Why are they buying from you? It's delicious. It's beautifully packaged. It's a beautiful gift. It's you know, it's my special recipe. It's whatever it is. And this is stuff that you need to be planning a little bit earlier on. You know, what is it you're going to tell them here? Make a list of what's special about what you do. And put away your sort of what's the word? Self-reservation? No, that's not. Your sort of reluctance to big yourself up, which is a lot of people. It's me as well. But you just have to think, right, I'm running a business here. I've got to make a profit. And I believe that what I'm doing is really good. So I'm going to share that. So tell the audience why. Why would they buy it? Why should they buy it? Okay. Get that excitement going. And then on launch day itself, you're going to basically bombard your socials all day. You can narrate what's happening. You can narrate, you know, doors are open, or the, you know, orders are open. If you've got orders coming in, you can say, oh, we've had, you know, 5 orders in already. We've had this, that, and the other. You know, where it's all hectic here, you know. We're busy putting boxes together for all these orders that are coming in. Narrate what's going on. Make it sound, you know, make it exciting and that it's happening and that your audience are actually a part of this excitement. Okay. And again, respond to all social media interest. If someone's just commented, reply to their comment, whatever their comment is. Okay. Reply, you know, encourage, big yourself up, get other people to big you up, everything. Okay. Oh, hello, Sue. And that's what you're doing. And then you've got to really maintain that until you're, you know, if it's a seasonal thing where orders are going to close, so you've got until, you know, next week to put your order in or whatever. If it's a new business launch, it's going to be slightly different in terms of you haven't necessarily got a finish date because you're opening your doors. So you're coming from the point of view of, you know, my business is open. This is what I offer. This is for sale. I can do you bespoke cakes or whatever it is you do. So you're going to be talking about that. Okay. But if it's a seasonal thing where there's a cutoff for orders, you're going to keep that excitement going until that, or, you know, that cutoff date is reached. You're going to remind people. You're going to email your email wait list. particularly to anyone that hasn't ordered. You know, orders close in 3 days. You know, have you ordered yet? That kind of thing. Okay, and that's what you're going to be doing. That is a very good question, Sue. How do you handle negative comments? Any comment is good for the algorithm, to be honest with you. So if you can reply, you know, if you can make it like a witty comeback, or some kind of, it's got to be from the point of view that, you know, they're idiots and you're not, and you're the bigger person. Well, I'm sorry you feel that way, but, you know, hundreds of other people are telling me the opposite, or whatever it is. Okay. But use them. I know of businesses that use negative comments really, really well. There's that famous one, you might have seen it, of a coffee shop, and outside the coffee shop there's a one of those chalkboards, and it says, come into our cafe, whatever the name was, and have the worst coffee that a woman on TripAdvisor ever had, or something, and you know, and they play on it. So if you can turn it around to your advantage and be, you know, the bigger person, because more often than not, the people that are putting on negative comments, they're either the competition, and honestly, who's got the time and the energy to worry about that? You should be worrying about your own business. Or they're sad person sitting in their mother's basement, you know, wanting to annoy people. In which case, just, you know, just do a comment. Or ignore that it's negative and actually pretend that it's a positive. Oh, thank you so much for your comment. We're so pleased that you're interested in what we do. Thank you for boosting our algorithm by your comment, or something like that. Okay. But that is a good question, Sue. Yeah, I wouldn't personally, I wouldn't ignore. I would try and make the most of it if I can, respond to it in some way, make them look silly if you can. Okay, so, you know, that is sort of it in a nutshell. That is your timeline. That is the kind of work that you need to put in, and the kind of preparation that you need to get to your launch date, whether it's your new business is finally taking orders, or whether it's you and your business, your, you know, say Christmas orders or Valentine orders, or you're bringing in a new product, you're starting to make birthday cakes whereas you hadn't before, or whatever it is. Okay. So there we go. Any questions on that? Any more questions on that? Now, I think what we're going to go on to now is ways to learn more from what I do. I've got a whole host of different things that you can learn more from. I've already mentioned my YouTube channel. The links from that are all over the place. Just go to Leading Lady Cakes, or LLC Business School, I think it is, and look for it on there. I'm always putting links for YouTube in this group. It might even be on the featured list somewhere. But there's all sorts of little videos in there of previous lives that I've done that you can get info from. If you want to set up your wait list, I have a course called Grow Your Own Email List. It's only £7. And you can find it at anniebennett.co.uk. And on the top menu, you'll see courses, and you'll be able to access it from in there. If you can't find it, just message me and I'll give you the link. But that course shows you how to set up an email waiting list or an email list, and then how to send out emails. So if someone signs up for your list, the system will automatically send them an email. I'll show you how to set all that up. And then I'll show you how to send like newsletter emails or regular emails. So you can schedule an email for the day before your launch, for example. I deal with all GDPR things. So all the rules and regulations that you have to follow, they're not complicated. You just need to know what they are. And I do that in that course. Okay. So go to annybennett.co.uk. If you just go to there, actually, you'll find it, but /courses, you'll find it there as well. There's also an email going into this group, not an email, a post going into this group, which will have the link on it. And in fact, here's what's on it. So this is what it looks like on your course. So when you buy it, you get into this and you watch each little bit. So these are all videos. And as you go through it, it'll show, you see the little half moon there. It'll fill that in once you've watched it. So it talks about the system that I use, MailerLite. There's one section about getting emails onto your list, how to actually get people onto the list. And there's something called a landing page. You know, when you go to perhaps a business website and they say, would you like our newsletter, or would you like our free guide on this, that and the other, and you have to put your email in. Well, it's basically that. So you can set up a system whereby you can say, would you like to be on our wait list, or would you like a free guide on whatever? And they put their email in, and then the system puts them on a list for you, and then you can email them. Okay. Lead magnets are what free guides are known as. So there's a section there on how to set your own one of those up, adding email addresses manually, and then actually sending emails. So you can either get them scheduled, you can get them automated. So if someone asked to be on your email list at 2 in the morning, your system will send them out immediately. You haven't then got to go in and say, all right, who have I got to send emails to? It does it automatically. And also regular emails. So all that you can have, all that knowledge you can have, and it's only £7. So go to, oh, hang on, that's the wrong way. So go to annybennett.co.uk and you will find it there. And then the other one I wanted to tell you about, if you enjoyed this evening's session and got a lot from it, my membership, the Home Baking Professional Society, has got a whole library of training, most of which I've done, but I also have quite a few experts that have come in, most of whom are my business chums, and they've come in and they've done sessions on all sorts of things. So there's a members only, I call it the portal. It's a website basically where all the trainings are stored, and there's all sorts of resources that you have access to. There's a private Facebook group. I do masterclasses, so similar to what I'm doing now, but I'll do them in the membership, and I do at least one a month, if not 2 or 3 a month on different things. Lots of business advice and support, so anything to do with your home baking business. There's also skills masterclasses, so there's a whole list of things. I've done things on the top of my head: ganache, chocolate, royal icing, buttercream, lots of sugar flour things, because, you know, I love those. So there's lots of skills masterclasses. I send out a weekly email with updates and news and all those kind of things. I do refresher sessions on things. There's lots on labelling to make sure that you're up to date. So if something new comes out from the Food Standards Agency, for example, or the government, I will read it and digest it and let my members know what it's all about and what they need to put in place and what they need to change, for example. And I also have something called my cake curriculum, which is a whole list of different aspects of running a business. And you can look through that and you can tick off what you already know. And then you can think, oh, I'm not sure about that bit. That's something I need some training in. And more often than not, you'll find the training actually in the society itself. So it's something I wish that I'd had when I'd started, because when you start something, you don't know what you don't know, do you? But my cake curriculum shows you things that it's really good to know when you're running a business, and the society will teach you those things and tell you about those things. So I've just started, or I've just brought in discounts. So you can either pay monthly, it's £20 a month, and you can unsubscribe or come out of it any time. Or you can sign up for 6 months. So if you commit to 6 months, there's a discount for that, but you pay for all the 6 months at once. You can do the same with 12 months, and there's a bigger discount for 12 months. And anyone that signs up for 12 months, you'll also get a surprise welcome gift box. And I'm really excited about these because I love shopping. And I'm going to fill these boxes full of all sorts of wonderful things. And I will send them to anyone that signs up for 12 months, you know, commits to the society for 12 months. So that is at anniebennett.co.uk. You can either go to register/HBP, whatever's there, or if you just go to anniebennett.co.uk, go up to the Home Baking Professional Society, and in the drop-down menu, it's got join the society, something like that. You can access it that way, or look at the post that's just about to post into this Facebook group. It'll be there somewhere. I can't remember the time I put it. Was it 8 o'clock or was it 7:45? I can't remember, but 8 o'clock at the latest. There'll be a post in the group, in this group, that will have all those links on for you. Okay. Becky's finding the cake curriculum. Oh, really good. I'm really pleased about that, Becky. It really does sort of show you what you know and what you need to then do next, doesn't it? I think it's, even though I made it myself, I wish I'd had it when I first started my business, because it really would have, you know, highlighted. And what you do is, if you fill it in, I will eventually, sometimes I'm a bit slow on the uptake with it, but I will get back to you and say, right, I can see what you need. Have a look at this training. I will find some training on this, and I will sort of guide you through. Okay. But the Facebook group, oh, hello, Joe, Angela, hello. The Facebook group for the society also has, you know, I'll put all sorts of things in there. We have a cover competition once a month. You win a little prize. In fact, Becky, you won that last time, didn't you? And there's sort of opportunities for you to ask, you know, in-depth questions about things, and I will, you know, spend some time in finding some resources for you if necessary, that kind of thing. So that's all there. So that is the society. I'm really looking to build and get more members now. So really do have a look at the details. Say, come and join. If you're not sure, just come and join us. See what it's all about. Have a look through. Have a look at some of the training. And I'm sort of confident. Arc at me. I'm confident that actually you will see what kind of value there is in there. There is. I always overgive. Always overgive. You know, I'm always there to answer questions, to help you, to sort you out, to you know, point you in the right direction, and answer questions, and so on and so forth. So if you want that, if you want some real hand-holding and some real guidance from someone who's been through it, then the society is for you, and I will welcome you with open arms. Excellent. There we go. I think that's the end of my jolly old presentation there. For society members, by the way, this presentation is going to go on the website, so you'll be able to access this. So if you want to have a closer look at that timetable and to look at that again, that will go in there. Although this video will actually go onto my YouTube channel. So that will be there for everyone to see, but society members, you'll actually get this presentation as well. I might take the sales bit off the end because you don't need that, because you have access to all that as well. But there we go. So there we are. That is launching. Do let me know if you use it. Tell me about how it's gone. Tell me what you've done. Tell me what you've discovered. If you've got any more tips for anyone about launching, please share them in the group, because the more the merrier. You know, so many people will have done this loads of times as well, and there's bound to be lots of experience and expertise in the group as well. In fact, I know there is. There's 9.2 thousand of us in here now, and so there's loads of people that, you know, really know their stuff in here. So do ask. There's no such thing, I always say, as a silly question. Do ask, and we'll be happy to help. So there we go. Any other questions before I go and have my chicken stir fry? I will just hold on just a second in case anyone has one, because there is a bit of a delay. Oh, I've gone all dark. Ooh. It's the trouble with doing these in the evening, because during the day I've got the window behind my computer, and during the day I'm bathed in sunlight, but in the evening it's a bit dark. Ooh, take my glasses off so you can see me. Hello. Any other questions? Oh, you're very welcome, Laura. You are very welcome, and I'm very glad it's been helpful. That's my mission, to be helpful. So yeah, so look out for the post in the group about the Grow Your Email List course, and also the sign up for the society. I will, as I say, I will welcome you with open arms and be overjoyed that you join us. All right. So have a lovely evening. Have a lovely, excellent, Becky, fabulous. And of course, you're in the society, so I will give you extra help in there as well. So fabulous. Do let us know how it goes. Keep us updated, everybody. And I will see you next month. I don't know what live I'm going to do next month. I shall have a look in the group and see what people seem to want. And but if you've got any suggestions, just ask in the group, and I'll see what I can do. All right. So have a lovely evening, have a lovely weekend, and I will see you soon. All right. Bye.